This ended up happening a lot sooner than I expected. And that's because of an amazing campaign that kind of happened on Twitter to get me to 1 million subscribers over the past month or so. And to the huge variety of other content creators and people that I admire and have had the chance to get to know and be friends with that have been pushing towards this goal, I owe you guys a lot. Thank you. I'm not usually one to encourage someone to sub, especially at the beginning of a video. And every once in a while, I'll mention it at the end if you do like the videos that you can subscribe. But for the most part, it's one of those things that I just wanted to organically happen. And the fact that we hit 1 million even before a giant fighting game like Mortal Kombat 11 means a lot to me, especially considering that my YouTube channel has just had insane growth over the past few years, more than I've ever had from doing Boss Rage or Assist Me or anything. And all that really boils down to is a huge thanks from me to you guys, to the kind words that you've given, and everyone that has been pushing to make this stuff happen. It's crazy to go back and to actually look back into the 8 years I've been doing this full time, and the 12 years now that I've actually been making YouTube videos in general. But reaching 1 million has been a far off goal. It seemed like it was actually possible back in like the 500,000 video. And it was like, but that's so far off, I can't even think of it. And the insane thing is that that was only about 3 years ago that happened, just under 3 years. So I have to thank you guys. I know it's never been a consistent journey on this channel, and things have changed a lot between the way YouTube works and how my content is sort of distributed and how it's viewed and everything like that. And I've tried to keep up with the times, to keep up with YouTube and its variety of challenges, as well as consistently stay streaming multiple days a week. And it's crazy just in terms of this retrospective, how much Twitch ended up helping out my YouTube channel in general, simply due to the fact that a lot of people are supportive on Twitch, and a lot of people don't have the opportunity to catch the time zones that I usually broadcast in, and so they rely on YouTube to check up on a lot of stuff, even though it's funny that not all the content actually gets put on, one or the other. So I have to thank you guys for sticking with me on a multitude of platforms between, YouTube and Twitch and anything that we've done in the past. I literally owe you everything. Everything that I have, everything that we've accomplished through making movies, every company I had the chance to make content for or be a part of, like Killer Instinct, if not working with Marvel and Capcom back in 2011. The only reason I was in a position to be able to actually take that kind of work was because I had an audience of people that truly seemed like they gave a shit, that enjoyed the same things we do. I'll never ever take that for granted. It's probably one of the most important things to me of what my audience thinks of my opinion and what my audience thinks about the content of the channel, as well as it consistently being there. And through thick and thin, and through a multitude of fighting games over the past few years, it has been crazy, man. Like, fighting games are now, I feel, almost bigger than they ever have been, because there's just so many new fighting games that show up, which has made it challenging on myself as, a former competitor of almost or over a decade. And in this new space of being a content creator for almost the past 10 years, and having to separate my time between all these different fighting games and at least learn a few of them very quickly. And I don't despise that. I don't dislike that in any way. But some people definitely stick to like one fighting game. And I can't really see myself doing that just because of the position I'm in, because going about all the different subgenres in fighting games and learning new stuff and finding new mechanics and characters that I enjoy is some of the most fun that I think I've ever had with this genre that I've been playing since I can even remember. So that has made the channel a bit inconsistent. Like, people would expect there to be nothing but like Dragon Ball Fighters or nothing but Marvel vs. Capcom or Killer Instinct, when suddenly there's a deviation and I'm playing Smash Brothers or some crazy anime fighting game that barely anybody's heard about or something like that. And the fact that you guys, through thick and thin, have consistently been watching these videos, and the viewership now and the support that I get has been bigger than it ever has been, is just, I am astronomically gracious. So for everyone that's been sticking with me for the first 5,000 subs, much less all the way to 1 million now, I can't give you any more thanks. And for a lot of people that are saying like, let's get to 2 million, these numbered goals have never been a thing in my mind. Ever since 500,000, I was just like, I am happy. Like, there feels like there's so many people that's following the fighting games and the videos that I'm making that it's not going to be a goal of mine to expand. Like, I don't need to have insane growth and specifically focus on like popular stuff or go to other games or anything like that. It was only about just making the existing people happy. Like the folks that have been sticking around and wanting to see consistent footage of a multitude of fighting games and talking points and skits and everything like that, to make them happy to the best of my abilities. And it's led to some rocky roads, projects that never eventually got finished and things that eventually get stalemated, but it's always in the back of my mind to try to reach for higher quality. And that's just because you guys, you guys put that into my mind. Like, if there's so many people watching the stuff I'm doing, then I have to put as much effort as I possibly can into making the final thing that shows up as good looking as possible, between new equipment, crazy cameras and lighting, and cool stuff that we get to do in videos and movies, and insane costumes and set pieces and everything like that. And I have to thank you, because through your viewership and through the support on other platforms, it's allowed me to do so. So, like I said, the number one thing going forward from 1 million subscribers that I'll never take for granted is my audience. And I think it's also the maturity of my audience. When you get into like the gaming sphere of YouTube, as well as the overall popularity of certain games, I'm not going to name names or call out certain aspects, but it's one of those things where I truly appreciate my audience, because I feel like I can relate with them. We've never had these giant like spikes, like some game comes out and it's the biggest flavor of the month or flavor of the year, and people just go whoosh, and that has never really happened to me. And while I watch like other channels get huge growth spikes and things like that, they're essentially doing things that like I just don't feel I would have as much enjoyment doing, in terms of like the type of content we'd be making. And the fact that I've been able to stick to my guns, where 90% of videos on this channel, the 4,000 something plus videos that we've made over the past near 10 years, is fighting games. It's old arcade games. It's new fighting games that are weird and crazy. It's celebrating the stuff that was really old that maybe no one ever played before, and things of that nature. And that's the stuff that I love. That's the stuff that I've been super passionate about my entire life, is just finding some new awesome fighting game and characters that can do the sickest shit. And yeah, I do definitely cover a few other things, and there's been moments where I have to take a little bit of a step back from fighting games, which happened at the beginning of this year, a little bit, but we're back in the thick of it, man. Like, there's so much stuff out there that's just so much fun, and there's a bunch of stuff that's right on the horizon that's going to be absolutely huge. We're similar in demographic, where we grew up with arcades. We grew up with this scene that sort of transformed the way our lives were, and that stuff is not as prevalent anymore. It still exists in locals, but I'll never take for granted the fact that my audience grew up with something that I hold dearly special, which is the acquaintances, the games, and the experiences I had in arcades. And to try to keep that mentality and keep that spirit moving forward, because it's something that is really important to me and was a big part of my life for a very, very, very long time. God, and it's just, dude, the fact that it's my life now. Like, I get to celebrate that every single day, one way or another, through thick and thin, and like crazy things that happen with them, and negative experiences as an extremely positive experiences, and things I would never ever think I would get to experience in this life that I have. I get to because of you. And there's so many people that I need to thank that I feel got me here, that increased the quality of the channel, between artwork that was provided, between the multitude of artists that I've been able to commission. There's so many, I can't even mention the different editors that I've been able to hire for compilations that I felt have done even better work than I have, and that I could ever do in those compilations. All those people that I've been able to collaborate with over the years, that I feel are way more talented than anything I've done, and way more persistent. I thank them, because I feel that they've added a lot to my channel over these years. And my God, man, just to go back to a fan art folder and see how much fan art we've received from people that have been watching us for the years is the most heartwarming, and it's one of the most amazing things, because that's what I grew up doing. That's what I grew up doing for, like, other things that I loved. I drew fan art all the time, and to see that people are doing it for me, and in the quantity of which it's been done, that shit means a lot, dude. Here's to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, a milestone it was never a goal of mine to hit, but something in the distance that you could see the light over the horizon. And the fact that it happened faster than I could have imagined is insane. So thank you, everybody. My hopes for the future: I hope Mortal Kombat 11 is amazing and surprises me in ways that I'm not prepared for. I hope Capcom is preparing for the future of their fighting games on the next generation of hardware and is ready to blow our minds, because it's been a rocky road for my favorite fighting game developer for the past couple of game iterations, or a few game iterations. I really hope we get surprised by stuff in the future as well that we're just not expecting, because I love being surprised by things that are ideas that we never knew we wanted, like Geese and Tekken, you know, and stuff like that. Let's hope that there's more stuff like that in the future. Let's hope Killer Instinct comes back at some point in the future, because I have these moments to reflect when I realize how amazing these games were. And that's an important thing for me. When you play a lot of different fighting games and you can't really dedicate all your time to one anymore, you go back and you look at the games that you played a lot of before, and you remember what you loved so much about them. You remember how cool this character was, how great the music was, how much fun it was pulling off this combo, or just the neutral of... It's one of those things to revisit a fighting game that you haven't played in a long time and fall in love all over again. And I think that's one thing that I have to thank you guys, as far as diversifying the video portfolio and making a lot of different fighting game content on this channel. And it's made me appreciate fighting games even more. So thank you guys for 1 million subs, and thank you for everyone that sticks it out with me going forward. I'll do my best to try to make everybody happy. And I can't wait for what's next. I appreciate it, dudes. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have some more videos with this celebration of 1 million subs, because I had the opportunity on stream the other day to go back and watch some of the really old stuff we made back in 2011 and even before. And it's kind of crazy to get a comparison of where we were and what has eventually come to be. So thank you again. Have a good one, dudes. Shine on, and I'll see you next time.